welcome to our today's sharing. My name is Wekesa Wafula. I'm a student at the Paul Seminary. And this evening, during this period of Lent, I would like to share with you a message, a Vincentian message about the plight of the poor as we go about with practicing the three pillars of Lenten period, that is prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. The Gospel of John 12 verse 8 records that the poor will always be with us. Jesus tells Judas Iscariot in the Gospel, "You always have the poor with you, but you do not always have me." This is an all-time reality. It's a reality that we all face in our contemporary world, that the poor are always with us. The poor are in our midst, in the very places where we live, to the people we minister to those people we meet during our daily activities. And so it's so much Vincentian message, because the poor are our masters, they are our lords, and these are the people whom, as we follow Christ, we are called to evangelize. They are also the people who evangelize us, who are Vincentians. So as we go about, we reflect on this, and the contemporary church, the Catholic Church, in her teachings, social teachings, it has a place for the preferential option for the poor. The poor, the members of the Catholic Church are called to serve these people, to always have a heart for them, have a place for them, share whatever we have with them, because they are the people whom we are called in a very, very special way to be with, show compassion with, to live with, and show our solidarity with them. Pope Francis, in our writings, in the document, his exhortation, Evangelium Gaudium, he writes, "If the whole church takes up this missionary impulse, she has to go forth to everyone without exemption. But to whom should she go first?" When we read the Gospel, we find a clear indication, not so much our friends and wealthy neighbors, but above all the poor and the sick, those who are usually despised and overlooked, those who cannot repay you. Evangelium Gaudium, number 48. Pope Francis invites us always to have a special place for these people whom we live with and who stays in our midst. St. Vincent de Paul, in the Catholic tradition and the Catholic Church, is referred to as the heavenly patron of all charitable works and the apostle of the poor, who worked in the Gallia states of the Digondis over 5 centuries ago. St. Vincent de Paul, being a priest, is supposed to be concerned with the spiritual needs, but he takes that to a notch higher, and not just concerned of their spiritual needs, but also their physical needs. He provides soup for them, he's always there with them, he visits them, he gives them the sacraments that they need, and all that. St. Vincent de Paul is a man we've seen not just to be moved by their conditions in spiritual ways, but actually in physical ways. And today, many Vincentian men and women who decides to follow and walk in the spirit of St. Vincent all over the world, they go about doing this in their own ways. During this period of Lent, it's our time to look at St. Vincent, who is a man who lived in 17th century years, but is still relevant in our 21st century. So he's a man of 17th century for 21st century. That as we go about in following his example, in following his spirit, we too can always do something for the poor, the people who are always in our midst, the people whom we interact with in our everyday situation. The plight of the poor is not only a Vincentian calling, but an entire church mission. For in poor we see the face of Christ himself, the evangelizer of the poor. In our own ways, smaller and greater alike, known and unknown alike, we are all called to do something for our brothers and sisters who are always lacking something. And most importantly, those who are marginalized, those who are really in need of the very things which we have and still we can share. Today, as we get into the second week of Lent, we pray that this spirit of sharing, this spirit of looking at our brothers who are lacking, with the eyes of compassion should enter each and every one of us, that we continue sharing, we continue being there for them in ways that we know how, in ways that it really speaks to them, in ways that really speaks to us. Whatever little we have, we share with them. Whatever we bear in our own ways, sharing with them our time and being there for them will always be something during this period of Lent. We pray that as we go into this period of Lent, as we reflect on the life of St. Vincent de Paul, that we become other Vincents in this life. That as we walk this and follow this example of Jesus Christ himself, who goes about doing good, that we become other Christs to these people whom we meet in our everyday life. We pray that this period of Lent be a period where we can show solidarity with them and have a special place for these people whom we are called to serve, these people who we live with, and these people whom we share our lives with every single day. Thank you, and God bless you.